What has the offensive efficiency here the last couple of weeks been like? And it seems like you guys have gotten out in transition a little better.
I mean, that just really starts off with, transition comes from getting a stop and getting a rebound. I mean, if we can get a stop, get a rebound, or get a steal, that's how the easiest way to get in transition. So the more we're able to get rebounds, defensive rebounds, give them one shot, get a rebound, get running, I mean, that'll be the better for us. So I think that's what we got better at lately. Just holding teams to less offensive rebounds a game. I mean, sometimes they come out, and then we get better as the game go on. But that's really the key. If we get defensive rebounds and we get steals.
And what was your off-season focal point as far as improving your game?
I mean, I definitely want to improve from just being able to come around screens and catch and shoot and things like that. I feel like I improved to being able to get shots off the dribble, being able to get into the paint and things like that. I think that's where I biggest improved from. And then definitely becoming more of a leader. That's what Coach Weber been wanting from me since last year. I feel like I'm getting better and better at it each day, and I'm getting, become more of a leader.
And can you pinpoint a single incident that was kind of a turning point to this season to get you guys going in the right direction?
I would say, there's been a few turning points for us. I mean, the Texas Tech win was definitely, great for our confidence. And then we got some heartbreaking losses, TCU, Kansas, that and then Ole Miss that gave us that humble pie kind of needed. I mean, if we win too many or we keep doing well game, I feel like we would get to that where we feel like we know it all. There's always those times where you need that humble pie. And I feel like we got it at a good time in the season where now we can finish off the season strong, go into Kansas City with some good momentum, and then finish off March in a good way.
And you played with Mike McGrath for 2 seasons now. What is his emphasis like in the locker room?
He's always positive. I mean, I'm proud of, his positivity and his leadership, especially him being one of the older guys, him and Mark Smith. Mike knows, what it takes. Mike's been in the NCAA tournament. Mike's been on a Big 12 winning championship team. So anything, he tells us, I'm pretty sure he would know what he's talking about since he's had that, under his resume. The better Mike, he's playing better and better each game. That's what we need from him. And that's what makes his team, very versatile and very hard to guard when Mike plays well.
Thank you, Nigel.
Next question to Kellis.
Hey, Nigel, simple question, but why do you think you guys have been so good on the road this season?
I feel like we come out with that, that chip on our shoulder when we're on the road. Everybody's against us on the road. We play with a lot of energy, a lot of passion. And we know the road games are a lot tougher. I like kind of being on the road myself. It's kind of fun, hearing the opposing team's crowd getting upset after a good basket or things like that. I think that's what makes it tough, but we got to have that same, mindset and things like that at home and on the road. I think we're getting better at that, defending our home court, and that's something we need to take with pride and take with honor.
Are you guys to the point where you actually kind of look forward to going on the road?
I wouldn't say totally, but we have that road dog mindset where we've had that feeling, hey, we're on the road now, we're the road dogs, and that's something we take, with passion. It's definitely fun playing on the road, but I love playing at Bramlage. So
I also wanted to ask, could you take me through that driving layup you had against West Virginia where you finished, with the right hand over the rim protector there? How did that unfold, and what was that like?
I knew, West Virginia did a lot of switching, especially when you come off ball screens. So I knew I had to take advantage of the switch with a bigger guy on me. I tried to give him a couple moves. He didn't go for it at first, but I seen the right side open. I just knew there was a little help right there, so I had to get the ball in the gap. I was able to do that, and since he's bigger than me and taller than me, I knew I had to get into his body so he couldn't have a full head of steam to come and block my shot. I was able to get into his body and then able to flick it up for a little layup. So something not too incredibly difficult, but the level of difficulty was definitely, hard for sure.
Yeah, it seems like not only that, but you've been attacking the basket maybe a little bit more than you were previously. Is that something that you decided you could do after some practice time, or how did that come about?
I mean, I knew guys now after, seeing how well I've been shooting the ball lately, guys are definitely going to start running, to me at the 3-point line. So I decided, trying to use their aggressiveness against them, making them, since they have to come out so hard and try to guard the three, I feel like it's a lot of space for them to try to guard me from that far out. So just being able to keep them honest on me to be able to attack the basket, me to be able to kick it to my teammate that's open, or maybe able to shoot the three. Just got to keep them honest on what they want to choose and what they want to pick.
Great. Hey, thanks, Nigel. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Next question to Tim.
Hey, Nigel. Back-to-back games, you guys have overcome double-digit deficits. What does that kind of say about your group, and how has that kind of powered you guys forward and like practice and stuff over the last week?
I mean, it just shows that we're always going to keep fighting. It shows that we got that dog mentality. We're playing with a lot of passion. I mean, that's been the key word that we've been using for, I don't know, a month or so. Just playing with passion the whole game. We've learned the hard way that no lead is safe, especially in the game of basketball. Basketball is an easy way to overcome leads. So we just learned that we got to keep playing for the 40 minutes, not 20. 20 doesn't make a difference, but the whole 40, whoever's winning at the end of that 40 minutes is the winner of the game. So we just keep playing hard the whole game. And that's something that we got to learn. So when we have the lead, we got to learn how to keep it. And then when we're down, we got to learn how to fight and come back from that deficit. So I think we've done that with the deficit part, but now we got to work on with the lead when we start getting our leads for sure.
And then how much confidence does that give you? I mean, to do that in back-to-back games and kind of knowing that, hey, if things kind of do get away from us kind of early on, we have it in us to really power back and get back in it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not something we want to be good at, or something not we want to be good. It's something we don't want to have to face every game where we put ourselves in that hole. But it's definitely good for our confidence and for us to know that, hey, we can come back on the team when we put the pieces together and we do the right things. But I just want us to be able to put the pieces together from the jump, and then we can be able to jump out on the team or play good the whole 40 minutes. And I feel like once we do that, we can be really dangerous and we can really compete. Especially with the top teams in our league. I mean, I feel like, especially with, Kansas and Baylor, we can't, give them leads like that because we've seen it's obviously pretty hard to come back on really good teams. So if we can, put it together a whole 40 minutes a game like we do when we're down, I feel like we're really difficult and really hard to beat.
Thanks, Nigel.
Thanks.
Next question to Wyatt.
Nigel, appreciate you doing this. I got a couple of questions for you. One, I guess, kind of just give me a sense of Marquise and his role in your improvement, because you seem to obviously play now more off the ball, and clearly you've done a lot of good with that. Kind of take us through what that's been like. And then secondarily, you talked about the improvement in the offseason in your array of offensive. Is that just mainly just time in the gym, strength and conditioning? What's the right answer there, would you say?
I would say first off with Marquise, I mean, I remember I was in the gym some night. I think it was the day before or the night of that Marquise committed. And I was talking to Coach Southwell because that was his main recruiter. And he told me that, man, we were going to be special. We were going to be able to play with each other on the court at the same time, which is people would think it was kind of crazy with two small guards like this on the court. At first, we didn't start with, we tried to figure out, what way and how we could do it. And then as we started doing it, we started becoming more and more comfortable with each other, picking up, things we both like to play on. In the off season, we were always going against each other. So we didn't get much of learning, each other, what we liked, what we didn't like, where we liked the ball at and things like that. But I feel like as we've gone through the season, we're both able to figure each other out. I know, Marquise really his strengths. He knows my strengths and things like that. So that's where we're able to, be dominant at, where he can find me on my strengths and I can find him on his strengths and help them get to his strengths where we make us really difficult and really hard to guard. So Marquise has definitely been a plus, especially for us, because it's hard for the defense, try to focus on so many guys on the court at one time. And his, his presence and his driving and shooting abilities made it, really hard for the defense just to lock in on me, which really made my job a lot easier and why I'm able to do so well on the court. And then secondly, this offseason, I definitely just put in a lot of work of trying to get, shots off the dribble. I mean, just reps after reps of doing the same move. And then just keep trying them. I mean, trying new things, looking up things, just watching guys like in the NBA that I really, like to watch like Fred VanVleet and Damian Lillard, things like that. Just taking some moves out of their packages and then try to put them in mind, because that's the best time to try it is in the offseason. Get better at it, and then just having the confidence, to try it in the game, and then it works for me. So
Thank you. Appreciate it.
no problem.
Next question to Arnie.
Yeah, you talked a little bit about this already, but developing the mid-range game, maybe in the getting to the basket. How much has that helped you on nights when maybe your shot isn't falling from three? Does that maybe give you more confidence on offense that you've got other things you can go to?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the 3-point shot is never an easy shot, especially with it being so far away and guys, in your face and things like that when you're trying to shoot them. So being able to get closer to the basket, see one go through, get a layup or a free throw or something like that, just to give you some rhythm, give you some confidence, I think is really good for my game. And then just not being a one-trick pony, as people would say, just being able to shoot the ball from three can be easy to scout. So me being able to get to the basket, be able to get to my mid-range and things like that just made it more difficult, more area for them to cover me at. So I think it just makes me harder to guard.
And also the fact that people were talking after the last game, you had 13 points and you had maybe an off night. That was an average game for you last year. Do you feel that sort of speaks to how your offensive game has grown and maybe the expectations?
Yeah. I mean, people definitely have high expectations after some great games I didn't put up. I could tell maybe yesterday whatever day it was that we played West, it just wasn't the day for me for shooting wise. I started to realize that, but I knew I still need to be aggressive. I mean, I missed some easy ones that usually I make, but I was definitely aggressive in the way of being able to get some assists. I mean, guys like Marquises and Ish were hitting shots. I mean, so I couldn't take that away from them. I mean, they were hitting tough ones. So it just made my job easier. I was able to get some assists, get some rebounds, and made some key free throws down the stretch with. And I feel like I was really happy. I mean, we got the win. And that's really all that mattered. I mean, I told guys earlier, it didn't matter what I scored. If I scored 30 and we lost, I mean, but the 13 and the W, I'm really happy with. So can't complain with the W.
Thanks.
Next question to Michael.
Nigel, explain to me Indiana high school basketball and how much pressure there was on you to be a solid player, well-developed player growing up.
I mean, Indiana basketball's always been, great for me. I mean, I never played basketball anywhere else, so I can only speak on how great it is from just the fans, from the competition, especially being in, I think we were a 5A or 6A high school, so we always had, the best teams around the country. I mean, around the state, and especially in my conference as well. It's kind of, I would give it as the Big 12 of Indiana. We played, every night we played somebody really good. They gave us a challenge. I mean, and we had a lot of sold out crowds and a lot of fan energy and things like that in our gym. And we were able to hold a lot of people. So kind of got me ready for having loud crowds, when we play here at Kansas State. So I think it prepared me really well, for sure.
Has Coach Weber or Coach Southwell kind of informed you of the K-State lineage of guards from Jacob Poland to Denny Clemente and further back to Mike Evans, players like that?
No, I mean, I've never talked to him about older guards. I mean, the guards that I usually talk about is like Barry and Cam Stowe, just because they were the guards like closest to me. But myself personally, I definitely watch, older guards from K-State. I mean, I got a video on my screen here of the history of K-State basketball players that I was watching before I ended up getting on this Zoom call. So there's a lot of great guards. And it's crazy or not, a fan sent me a link to Jacob Pullen's 38 points against KU the day of KU's game, and I ended up watching that one. And I watched it before our game. The next thing you know, I had a crazy game against KU. So I appreciate the fan whoever sent that to me. But yeah, definitely watch a lot of Jacob Pullen. And then Barry Brown, I definitely, try to get in touch with him when he came down for the summertime and then work out with him, things like that. Just anything I can take from each player, just to get me a little bit better, just, really helps in the long run.
I didn't mean to overlook Barry. Who were kind of some of the NBA guards that you look at, watch, and kind of model some moves after?
I would say I would try to use guards that, relate to me a lot, especially being the undersized guard. So People like Fred Van Leek is something that I really watch. I mean, my trainer, he started it with me. Just sending me a lot of film of him, just so I can learn, how he's able to create his shots, not being very tall, not being very athletic, but how he's able to be efficient and, do really well in the league. And then guys I like to watch for fun. I mean, obviously Damian Lillard, he's very special with his range, and especially Steph Curry, the way he's able to shoot the ball, get it off quick, and, run around screens is something that, I could translate my game to. So I kind of watch how he's able to get open, especially people knowing how well of a scorer he is, how he's still able to get off and do well in games like that. So.
Thanks, Nigel.
No problem.
Next question to Ted.
Hey, Nigel, you bring up the Kansas game and the 35 points, like you said. It's not exactly an uncommon feeling for you this year, but I'm just curious, what is it like in that moment when everything is going in for you?
I mean, it's a great feeling, great for my confidence. I mean, once you get a little bit of confidence, I feel like confidence is really the biggest thing for basketball. Confidence can, change the whole game for you. And that's what I got early. Mark Smith found me in a corner for an early three, and it got my confidence going. I mean, and then from then I felt like it was just practice. I mean, I kept shooting the ball, even when they were in my face or it was a bad shot, but I had confidence. I had a lot of it, and shots were going in. So, I mean, confidence is really the key for basketball players nowadays, and players that play with a lot of confidence are really, really hard and really dominant. And the guys that, don't, that are really good, but don't play with confidence, then they don't look like the player that they are capable of.
And finally, I wanted to go back to a couple of years ago, since it's such an interesting story right from the outside. Your recruiting blows up after the Peach Jam, and you stuck with your commitment to Kansas State. Why did you do that?
I feel like, growing up, my dad always been a man of his word. Everything that he told me that he was going to do, he did. I told Kansas State I'm coming here, and growing up with that, my dad just being that influence on me, when he told me he was going to do something, he did it. I feel like since I told Kansas State I'm coming here, I'm coming to Kansas State. Nothing changed with Kansas State. They believed in me before all the hype came around. So I believed in them. And then people tried to come after the hype, and I didn't want it. I wanted Kansas State because they wanted me for who I was before, they seen, all the hype and all the things like that. So that's why I stuck with them. They stuck with me, and it's been a great choice ever since. So I can't complain about it.
Cool. Thank you, Nigel.
Thank
you. Next question to Grant.
Hey, Nigel. I just want to ask a couple questions. First one is, kind of piggybacking off that one, is how much do you love K-State? And what is the trials and tribulations been like from last year and then this year, the feelings of actually being able to get some wins under your belt?
I mean, I love K-State. I mean, I think it was a great choice for me. I mean, there's always the pros and cons about each school, but I mean, it's been great for me. I mean, definitely coming from Indianapolis, where I'm more used to a city type of vibe, where there's a lot of big things to do, a lot of things to do, a lot of places to travel to. Coming to Manhattan, I mean, it's different for sure, but I think it's a blessing in disguise, where in Manhattan, it's not as big, not as many things to do, where it keeps me more focused on the things that I need to be focused on. And I think that's what made the improvement for me, where now I'm able to focus on the things like school and basketball. I mean, there's really not much else for me to be focused on here, which is really a blessing. I mean, I would say that's really key for me. And that's why, I've been successful here at Kansas State, where I'm able to focus on the things that I need to. And that's just been great for me. What was your second question again? I kind of forgot it.
I mean, what kind of legacy do you hope to leave at Kansas State?
I just hope to be remembered as one of the great point guards that have been here. Watching Jacob Pullen, I used to watch him before I even got here. He's been remembered as one of those great point guards. And I mean, it's something that I watch, something that I want to learn from. Hopefully he can come back to Kansas State one day. If somebody can send it to him, hopefully he can come back. I'll definitely take some lessons and some things, to learn some stuff from him, because he was definitely one of the great point guards here. And I hopefully just remembered as, one of that guy that was, not only just a great point guard on the court, but I want to be special in the community as well. That's why I'm trying to help out So I kind of signed with Big Brothers Big Sisters just to, be able to get my name out in the community, because I know how much, college basketball means, especially in a small town like this, for kids and things like that. I just want to be able to help them as well.
And then, last season you should have been on that all freshman Big 12 team. This season, you're definitely going to see some accolades come your way. How do you keep yourself humble, with all these, great accomplishments coming your way, including scoring the basketball?
I always try to stay humble. I mean, that's just kind of the person I am, but it always keeps me humble because there's something that I didn't get that I feel like I should have got. So that's what keeps me hungry to keep going. Like, man, I feel like I should have made this or that. That's what keeps me going, honestly. I mean, there's some accolades that's already came out that I feel like I should have been on, but I wasn't. So that's what keeps me going for, hey, I mean, you may have done good up to this point, but there's still a lot more to be able to come for. And I mean, there's always something else that you still need to get. And that's what keeps me driving on the inside, that I feel like I could keep going and I could still do better. So.
And then last one I got for you is I want to ask you about Mark Smith and just how important you think he was, the addition to this team for this season.
I think Mark Smith has been really a guy that's, that's really been crucial for us this year. When Mark Smith plays well, when Mark Smith grabs rebounds, and Mark Smith is Mark Smith being that man child, I think that's what that changes our day. When Mark Smith's grabbing 10 plus boards and has 15, 20 points, I think we're a really dangerous team, especially at his size, because it's hard for guys 6'8" to move their feet to keep up with Mark Smith when Mark Smith's 6'3", 6'4" with the same weight as the 6'8" guy. So I think it's, Mark Smith makes us versatile on the court. He makes us bigger than what we are. And it allows us to play small ball with Mark Smith. I mean, I just seen a few times where Mark Smith's at the 4 or possibly even maybe the 5 at times. I mean, it's not something that, people would think we should do, but I think it's worked out well for us, especially with his ability and his toughness that he brings to the table each game.